Craig Valine and Scott Evans.
Speechless.
Speechless in Seattle.
Speechless from the deck.
Craig Valine, Scott Evans here with On the Deck. And today, you know, it'd be really neat to talk about, we talked about coaching in one of our earlier installments. And what should someone look for in a mentor or a coach? Are there specific questions I should ask?
Yeah, great lead in. Yes, sir. You know, I mentioned in an earlier video that willing students win, and we do hear this admonition that, you know, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I think in large part that's kind of a platitude. It's kind of a throwaway line that there's no real behind it. And what I like to do, and what Craig and I talked about a lot, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's really just the nuts and bolts and the objective data about things, the empirical sort of data that shows how something is or how something isn't, not just a platitude, a throwaway line.
Right.
So I think that you don't have to take that concept out of your mind when the student's ready, the teacher will appear, but I think if you apply some sound questions and you're ready, willing, and able to encounter a mentor or taking a mentor on, I think the three questions you have to ask, or that I would ask, in keeping with not telling anybody what to do,
right,
is when you come up, you know, against this prospective mentor, you got to ask them three questions, and I think these are them. One, what opportunity did you see and then seize upon? You know, what was the opportunity? It's always nice to know, how did you get to where you are, have what you have?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Right? Because that's really usually the first, like, that's the bait,
Right.
that we bite. That's just out there.
What have you done with your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then when they tell you, well, you know, I created this, or I built that company, or I whatevered, then you say, oh, well, how did you? Then the next question is, great. How did you prepare to see that and then jump on that? You know, what books did you read? Who did you talk to? Who were your mentors?
Right.
Right? So then I think the third question is the most important question, and I think it doesn't get asked for two reasons. One, because it just doesn't occur to us to ask it. And two, we're afraid of the answer. Right? So I think the third question must be, how did you survive the gestation period? In other words, when you had the idea to build something or create something and license and sell it or start marketing it, you know, it takes a while to generate income.
Right.
So how do you survive that period of having the idea and it paying off?
Right.
All right. So
that's funny, you know, because in between my success periods, I have had to go back to work. I've had to go sell stuff for other companies to pay the bills to keep the stuff going. You know, you got to do what you got to do if you're committed to the cause. Right. So that's interesting you say that. I've never asked anybody that, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, powerful stuff.
So the funny thing is, my first big infomercial hit, people were watching it. I was getting calls from all over the country, and oh, Scott this, Scott that. And because these infomercials are typically on in late hours or early hours, I'd be woken up or I'd sit on the couch sleeping with one eye open because I wanted to see it, and you know,
right.
It was exciting. But before that actually paid off, and before I was able to wrangle money out of the guy that produced and put the infomercial out and get my share of the sales, I had to do odd jobs. You know, I had to install dishwashers. I had to fix air conditioners because I'm a mechanical guy. You know, I was in the trades years ago. But it took a while from, you know, it presumably making a lot of money to where I actually received money from it.
Right.
So I had to pay the bills, like you say, in the meantime.
Yeah.
It's not a point of pride, it's a point of necessity.
Well, and a lot of people that I deal with right now, they're struggling. I mean, they're making no money at all doing their business. And I'm like, well, do something to make some money so that you can do this thing that you truly want to do.
Oh, funny. You know what? That reminded me of something we talked about in the past was the benefactor factor.
Right.
That's
brilliant.
That'll
be another topic.
Another video, absolutely.
But it's brilliant, right? It's like, you know, look, if you're committed to what you really, truly want to do. You know, I told someone the other day, I met someone who runs a school for twice gifted children. Twice gifted, meaning they're exceptionally bright, they are unique in their talents, but they have learning disabilities. They don't learn the same way you and I might learn. So I said, you know, that's funny because I'm an entrepreneur and a lot of people don't understand entrepreneurs. And, you know, one of my mentors had said, you know, the entrepreneur is the loneliest person in the world because not many people really understand us except other entrepreneurs. And so, I mean, I just thought that was very exciting. But you've got to do what you got to do to get to where you want to go. If you're, I I know what I said. I said I'm psychologically unemployable.
Right.
I mean, I could go and, you know, I've sold, but all the time that I'm there, I'm thinking about my project, and even though that is the means to the end, you know, it's still, I'm like, I wish I was there working on my project, you know.
Right.
So you gotta do what you gotta do if you're committed to the company.
Absolutely, and it's not a matter of being, it's not shameful, it's just production.
It's what you do.
Look, production is the basis for morale. So, aside from anything else, just start producing, and you know, all kinds of doors open up. So there you are.
That's brilliant. I love these things. These are all good. This is, by the way, we created on the deck because there's a deck right outside this window where we have these conversations about things, and we just thought we'd share them with the world.
Well, and we're inside right now because sometimes it's kind of loud, and you know, there's construction going on in the neighborhood. But we're going to do some nighttime on the deck sessions, so that we'll actually be outside on the deck. But yeah, I mean, we've got the oak tree, we've got a bottlebush tree, and sometimes you see a hummingbird and those flowers. It's kind of neat, you know.
And the jasmine, the wind,
Yeah.
oh, that's awesome.
Just great. So thanks for coming by, and by all means, drop us a line, and maybe we can arrange to have you in and have a conversation with us. I think that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be very, very cool. Listen, this is Craig Valine and Scott Evans with On the Deck. We will see you again next time.